Hello, everybody. It's time for another version of Gateway to Geats, the sixth one, talking about the episode 6 of Geats. Like, I need to explain the premise if you're watching this again. So far, it seems like Tuesdays are not optimal for my editing style, schedule, and a variety of other things. So Wednesdays have seemingly been the better days that these will be coming out at. So we're gonna be aiming for those. It's just gives me a good, it just gives me a good like little pillow to get these out because I like making them. They're fun, and there's gonna be a little bit of format change. I'm not gonna just explain it, but you'll see it as we're going through. So first things first. Geats confronts Buffa and goes like, "Yo, dude, what's your fucking deal?" And Buffa brushes him off because he's Buffa. Of course he does. He's the secondary hothead. He's Shadow the Hedgehog. We got Shadow the Hedgehog here. And I fucking called it. Mary's a fucking dickhead. He's a dick. And he is concocting basically a conspiracy to save his ass. And he's roping Buffa into it. And then we have the OP. Again, OP's great. I still would love to have like a little button at the end of it. But I genuinely, one of the better OPs we've had in a while. It's a really damn good OP. Really damn good OP. And as we come back, the rest of the cast is learning that Mary's not a great dude. As he's been caught and on the run for basically being a fixer. If you aren't aware what a fixer is, they are a person who is in the gambling scene and fixes it so that the random chance that the person can win results in a loss. And he's a car dealer and all that kind of stuff. And that really does reflect in what we've been seeing with the show and what the show's been talking about of forging your own path, forging your own destiny. That, yeah, no, a guy who fixes cars totally fits into that because he's eliminating luck. He's making his own luck, and he wants to eliminate your luck. It's an ultimate form of creating the world you want to live in, of getting rid of random chance. And learning this whole thing just really reflects on the elements of opportunism that we've seen with the character of basically going with whoever the strongest voice of the room is. So it works really, really well. And we find out that Mary bought the little ticket that lets him change teams, and now it's Mary and Buffa on a team, and Tycoon is now teamed up with Pumpjack. And boy, this is a comedy of errors, isn't it? It's really interesting, this whole like elements of game design being used as story beats. It's nice. It's also something that's been played with before. I know there's this one art house film that's just about like that the director was like, yeah, no, I was inspired by just how like with walking becomes interesting in video games and all that kind of stuff. And that's fascinating. Kyle Calgren talked about it forever ago. I can't remember the name of the movie. I think Matt Damon might have been in it. Whomst knows? But Geats, Nago, and Tycoon are on the beach doing a little bit of practice as Tycoon is trying to deal with the fact that he has Pumpjack now. And Geats gives Tycoon boost. Because they did the whole switcheroo so Buffa could have zombie, which again is also just kind of like a little bit of a knife. It's like, oh dude, this guy got you zombie and you're just letting Mary do this? That's kind of dickhead Buffa. Why are you being an asshole, Buffa? We'll get into that later. But Geats gives over boost as Mary watches off to the side. He goes like, oh shit, he's got the fucking red one. Because red's powerful. And it's also pants, because a lot of people wear it as pants, because pants are power. Pants are powerful. Mark my words, pants are the true MVP of this series. Pants. Yes. This also leads into my concept of my idea that Geats is kind of using it kind of sees Tycoon as like an equal, kind of sees Tycoon as a person who shares not necessarily a full set of values, but like he sees Tycoon as someone who's worthy of working with. You know, he's not trying to butt heads or going like, yo, what's your deal? He sees Tycoon as like something of an equal. He's like, okay, you're not at my level yet, and I'm gonna win because I'm the pro tag, but you are valuable to me, and I want you around, and I want you to not fucking die. So that's cool. That's nice to see. And Mary does continue to show his dick-ass energy because Tycoon sets Boost down, thinking it's safe, and Mary steals it out, and it's just fucking dickhead being an asshole. And then we have like a little interaction between Mary and Buffa as they have a conversation. We truly see why this happened, because it's displaying how an asshole is and how a real asshole is. Because we've been seeing Buffa be curt and argumentative and kind of bullheaded. It's a bull, right? With a bunch of characters, and we've been kind of going like, oh, he's kind of a little bit of an asshole. But now that we see Mary here, who is throwing people under the bus to get what he wants, who is laughing at the face of someone losing this game, as far as we know, gonna die kind of thing, so on and so forth, Buffa is getting flashbacks to seeing his friend die, and the Kamen Riders who literally beat him in order to steal his stuff and left him to die. You know, and it's also just showing how assholes will manipulate people to get what they want, because Mary essentially manipulated Buffa. He was like, hey, you know, Tycoon's kind of weak, and I got a weak guy. If we teamed up, we could win, and you can get what you want. And Buffa was like, okay, that makes a little sense. And it was Mary just saving his own ass. He can barely contribute anything, you know? And Buffa's starting to realize this and goes like, ah, shit, I got, you know? I got. And as Mary continues to monologue, he starts laughing in a certain way, and that definitely triggers some PTSD for Buffa. And we do get a flashback, and we see, because Geats comes in, and the flashback starts with Geats kind of going like, hey, I know the reason you're really pissed off at me and everyone else. It's because your friend died and all that kind of stuff. And Buffa goes like, yeah. And we see Geats wasn't part of his friend dying. Geats comes in a little bit after and beats the monsters to protect them, really. And the phrase Geats says, kind of like on the, I watched the episode once for entertainment, and then I watch it again to make some notes for these videos. On my second watch through, the thing Geats says is interesting to me, because he basically says, you're better to forget this ever happened. And in one sense, it's a very callous thing to say, like, oh, look, asshole, right? But the more we've met Geats, the more we see it, it's you're starting to realize it's not being an asshole. It's not like, forget your friend. He's genuinely trying. He's like, hey, this is dangerous shit. You probably shouldn't get wrapped up in it. Forget it, you know? And I'm starting to go like, maybe there is a reading, there is an understanding of the character of Ace Geats as maybe autistic, maybe on the spectrum a little bit, because again, he says things that seemingly are trying to be helpful but are really blunt. And he often relates to people with his fixations. You know, he knows history, and he talks about history and brings it up. Maybe that's just like, I just like history, and I like to observe how people change the world around them, you know? And that kind of thing. So I'm not saying Ace is autistic, and I'm not that kind of neurodivergent to say. I'm ADHD neurodivergent. So someone who is autistic could probably do a much better understanding and read of Ace in that understanding. But I'm not that person, I just think it's a possibility. It's something we could be exploring. I don't think it's something they're purposely exploring, but it could be an interpretation that's interesting. Do we have an autistic Kamen Rider now? Could be. But then Buffa begins his plan, because boy is this a fun little turn for the character. So Buffa says, all right, cool, we'll have a little game to figure out who owns Boost. So Tycoon and Mary have a flag race. They start on two sides of thing. They go for the flag. Whoever gets it wins, right? I know it's a common game in Japan. I've never seen it played around here in America, so thought I'd explain the rules. And whoever gets Boost gets to win Boost. Tycoon and Mary reach up in the middle. Tycoon grabs it and has his whole hand on it, and then Mary grabs Tycoon's arm. And I think that's interesting, because ultimately we are shown that Tycoon wins and gets the item. We see the visual win, and then Mary strong arms his way to victory. He forces Tycoon to let go. He forces it all through. It's very much like a child throwing a temper tantrum, right? And then Buffa grabs Boost out of Mary's hand and goes like, all right, with this, that, we know who owns Boost, right? We know who owns it. And you're watching it and you're going like, oh, it's because they win, he wants to fucking power up and all that kind of stuff. But it's a fascinating thing. You watch it on a second turn and you know Buffa's real mindset right now. It's a double turn. Well, I'll explain it. No, let me just explain. Buffa pulls a double cross on Mary and is working with Tycoon without anybody knowing, not even Tycoon. So when he says this is ours now, he is talking to Tycoon, saying, yo, this is ours now, but he's also keeping Mary in the dark and Tycoon in the dark. It's a fun little, it's good script writing. It's just really well written, really well taught. It's taught script writing. The bad guys show up, they gotta go fight them, do all that kind of stuff as the teams go out and do their thing. Geats, Nago kind of goes off. We don't see him for a little bit as Buffa and Mary tend to are butting heads a little bit. Buffa is not really going along with it because, again, he's having second thoughts, and as it's revealed later, he's already changed teams and all that stuff. And Tycoon is having a bear of a time with Pump Jack. He's trying, there's an attempt, but he's having a hell of a time. Buffa then goes for a bad guy with the Boost power-up in hand, puts on the pants. Put on your pants! Then Tycoon and Buffa beat a guy. They get points. It's revealed that Buffa switched teams back, and there's a cute little moment where Tycoon's like, oh, you chose me? And Buffa goes like, no, I grabbed the card. But that's kind of playing into the idea of fate and luck and choosing your power and choosing your destiny and going against Mary. Like, the universe wants Buffa and Tycoon to be partners, and Mary cheated his way through that, and he's now being punished for it. It's an interesting little thing, playing against Mary making his own luck. All the while that's happening, Geats and Nago beat the last guys, so all the little dudes are dead. They're dead, and we group back together, and the points are revealed. Geats and Nago are in first place because they beat most of the things, because they figured it out real early. Buffa and Tycoon get some points, so they're still in the game, and Mary has lost the round, and it's essentially, he's gone, he's exiled. And it's a big thing. Mary finally drops the mask of friendliness that he's had with so many characters, and he just shows his true colors. He's an asshole. He's a fucking asshole. Mary then disintegrates as Tycoon goes like, is he dead? And it's revealed, no, they just get sent back, and they don't remember anything of the game. They're back to their regular life. And now my question is for that is, are they just sent back to the world as we know it currently? Or are they sent back to a previous world that's fucked up. Because, like, I could see either of those two things happening, because I'm not saying it's like this, but it's like that. I'm getting, like, some mental vibes of that one Stephen King story with, like, the time eating things. You know? I can't remember what they're called, but, like, that kind of thing is, like, maybe there's some, like, universal thing that it needs to be reset every once in a while, so on and so forth. But we end the episode with the woman in black and white saying, hey, the boss monster's coming, to the guy who's been in shadows with the mask, and he goes like, ah, yes, the world will end, and we'll see who gets to make the new world. Episode ends, and goddamn, this is a good episode of television. Really good episode of television, and everything is just running on 6 cylinders. Like, I wanted to mention it while talking about it, but I just got wrapped up in the plot. The action scenes have been amazing. It is really good fights, really fun, inventive uses of camera work. Like in this episode, we have a fun bullet time segment where we go through the end of a fight scene and we get to see all the characters be badass. That's just it's a fun little visual element. It didn't need to be there, but it does show the characters off in a really fun light. And it's also just really interesting to see just how well integrated the CGI has been, how well the compositing has been. Because I'm not someone who goes like, oh, poo-poo, bad CGI. I watch schlocky B movie horror and fucking tokusatsu. Who am I to fucking judge, right? So to see the CG be at this level is just really good, right? Because you go back a couple years with like Ghost or Forza, and it is night and day, you know? It's night and day. But yeah, that's Geats episode 6. The next episode is going to be interesting because we got our final 4. It's the end of this Desire Grand Prix, and we're going to see how the arcs work. We're probably going to see a glimpse of the grander structure of Kamen Rider Geats coming forward. But hey, if you liked this video talking about Kamen Rider Geats, give us a like, give it a comment, subscribe to see more and other video content, such as the one that recently came out, Street Fighter 6. The one that recently came out, a speculation of what might be on Street Fighter 6 DLC, made by me with my cohort Buster from Buster Core. So do all that stuff. Hey, and if you also want, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, do all that kind of stuff. And a minor thing, not a minor thing, it's a big thing. This video is also brought to you by City Thief Ring from Webtoons. My friend Kelvin makes this beautiful, fun fantasy adventure series. Go check it out. I'm just gonna show my friends webcomics and web novels with these videos because why not? Fuck you. But in the meantime, till next episode of Geats, till the next Gateway to Geats, until the next video essay editorial that you see on this channel, I want you to do good. See you next time.